here's a picture of me. This is me when I was a teenager. Years after this picture was taken, one of my relatives who I loved gave me a picture of my great aunt, my grandmother's sister. And my grandmother and her other sister, her younger sister, used to say, I look like the family, especially her younger sister. She said, you remind me so much of my sister. So I look like my relatives. And when I saw this picture of her, my great aunt, and I put it next to this, I took a picture. I had never seen that picture before, but she's wearing like a light colored shirt. I'm wearing a light colored shirt. Her hair was parted a certain way, like I guess from that time, my hair was parted a similar way. We look so much alike. Even the head positioning was alike. It was as though, I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, how is it that so many years apart, we took similar pictures? And what's so strange about it is I took that picture and I framed it so I could see it. And that's one of the pictures that I have around in my bedroom so I can just see like how these people tried to change everything about me. And even though they keep trying to, the truth is always coming out. It's always, I feel like even though they don't know the truth and the people who listen to them don't know the truth is out there. So they're upset because they say, well, why did you wait so long to do all this? You get what I'm saying? Like, they would have had me, because they said they were going to expose me as a fraud. They would have had me completely destroyed based on their lies. And when I'm looking at the truth, like here's the truth. Here's the truth. This is the kid, I was a kid here, who they thought was so disliked. They came up with all these examples of how men didn't want me at the time. At the time, men wanted me, I think, listen, ladies, especially ladies, what I think about men. And we know. It's not like, they want to make it seem like, come on. And I'll leave it at that. And this is what they didn't want. They didn't want me to have had close friendships where I could just be myself and talk to people. They didn't want that because that would expose their lies. They wanted me to be a different type of woman who, like I said, they could mold and have me dress a certain way and kind of look a certain way. I was never that person. So they they said certain things happened in Cardinal Spellman that never happened. They never happened. And why they keep going back to that is I think what they wanted was they wanted to make it seem like these things were happening all through my life, at St. Helena's or St. Angela Merici, at St. Helena's, at Cardinal Spellman. No, they weren't. They were not. And it's important that you guys know that because it shows that if I didn't have like pictures of me like this, going back to my relatives, my great aunts, my grandmother, have a school records. Could you imagine what they would have done to me? Imagine I'm putting myself in the place of somebody who wouldn't have had these things and the lies they would have told about me. So I can look at why it was so important that I've been in the Bronx for my life and stayed in the same place because it's, they keep trying to change it from 2016, but I've been in the Bronx since I was born 1973. So if I had always had these problems, these videos wouldn't be necessary. And that's the difference. It goes to show I didn't always have these problems. And if they had erased, some days they say that there are people out there supporting you. I know that there are. They said they destroyed all my relationships. I know they did not. I know that's a lie. But it's bigger for me than them saying this much. To me, it's about my whole life. It's about my family history. So, to change my family history is the big issue. How could you change who I am? That goes back to my family, and they don't understand. By telling you folks these things and knowing that I have people in my life, they don't want you guys to know that, because if you know that, then I don't seem as vulnerable, and I definitely don't seem crazy. They thought that they would have to be able, I would need to call on them to help me in some way. I would never need to call on them to help me. So that's a big issue. And what I want to talk about in that big issue is this. There's that point in their minds that they feel I would need them. And that there aren't people who have known me for decades. I've known some people from the time I was a child. So they said I ruined all my relationships. There's no way. There's one person who I consider my best friend, who I've known since maybe I have to find out how old I would have been. Maybe I've known her for 39 years, and we've never had an argument. Do you know how many other people I have in my life who have known me for ages and we've never had a problem? So do they think they're going to convince me and brainwash me? Because I think this is a form of brainwashing me. That I'm the issue? When they came out of nowhere and claimed to know everything about me, yet when this picture came around, they said, we never saw that picture. Is that your hair? Where were you when this was taken? I was walking around looking like this. Like, I literally was walking around in the streets as a human being looking like this. Do you folks know what I'm telling you? They're liars. And not only was I walking around in the streets looking like this, other members of my family look like me. So where did their lies come from? It started in 2016. It's clear that these people thought, and they lied about the pictures that I got from my relative. And that's my point. These people thought that they were going to completely rewrite things where I experienced them firsthand. That picture was one of the pictures that was given to me from my relatives, and it changed everything in my world, because I had been wanting to do a family background, a book based on it for the family only, and make sure everyone had these stories and had the pictures. And I think that's what they didn't want me to do. Why do I think they didn't want me to do it? Because I think, and I kind of know, if they could switch the family stories and switch my life story, it was meant to destroy my relatives. I really do believe that now. Because there's no reason why I'm walking the streets looking like this and other people see me looking like this, that suddenly they claim I looked a different way, I was living a different way, I'm, doing all these horrible things. I wanted to also talk to you folks about how changing a person's life story is not just to hurt that person. It's meant to cause this type of chaos. So they said, they called other people pretending to be me, using me to get information from those other people and starting to investigate those other people. That is my point. I think it was much bigger than just me. And the ability for them to try to confuse me meant that I would be busy, and then they could take advantage of other people. So they keep thinking that I'm sending hidden messages to people in my videos. No, I'm just stating the facts, that they are the ones that caused this to happen. They're the ones who spread these lies. They're the ones who wanted to take my name from me. You know how important my name is? It's so important that my professor used it. That's how important it is. And that's my issue with this whole scam, game, mind trick. If my name wasn't important, why would my professor use it? My name, I had a professor in freshman year of college who is an expert in Middle East studies. And he said it's Swahili and Arabic. And he wrote it out for me the way it would have been written. And he said it means high, lofty, important. So when I looked up in Arabic what MIJA is, it's major. So that's kind of where it's derived from. So Shamega means major. A lot of people say, oh, but it's also like mega, which is important, like big. And I was like, yeah, it is. So, but it's not Greek, even though the Greeks had something similar. It's Swahili and Arabic, which is high, lofty, important, major, something big. And that's why my name is important to me. It's important to me that not only did my professor want me to know the meaning of it, but it means something. So to have stolen my name and then think I would give my name up, I won't give up my name. And I love my name. And that's the issue with this. It's the issue that if I have something of value, these people think they can steal it from me. And nobody will know. Nobody would care. I wouldn't know and I wouldn't care. And I think going back to that professor, I think that's why he wanted me to know the meaning of my name. Because he wanted me to know that it was important, it was significant. Thank you for watching.